Does that equal fighting the Americans?
Okay, I didn't get that. You mean tell me until now, you mean? I don't understand the reading.
When you preach that jihad is a duty upon Muslims.
Man, if anybody told you I'm the leader of Islam religion, man? We're talking here when they ask question, when they something, when they show my face, not with the bear, but when they show me like I'm talking in the religion, they thought I'm a religious person. So when the questions comes and talking come, I must say something from the book.
Right. And what does the book tell you? What does the book tell you about jihad? It's a duty upon Muslims.
Okay, duty, but there's a two kind duty. Duty, we must on the people who live in that country, if it is invaded, like Iraq people, and the other duty, you can do it only if you can, like from other people from other countries.
Only if you can.
Yeah, this is the ruling of Islam.
Alright.
Yeah.
And for Iraq,
yeah,
what does jihad mean? If somebody's going to Iraq for jihad, what does it mean? What are they going to do?
They go with the group. How do I know that? Some of them fighting by hand, some of them maybe by cars or anything. I mean, we saw lots of movements.
By coalition forces, is it the government of Iraq? Is it the Americans? When you go to Iraq for jihad, what do you do?
I mean,
what does the religion tell you to do?
Okay, whatever is there, like, you know, I mean, like who invade Iraq and who works with him.
Then they're the enemy.
Huh?
Then they're the enemy.
Yeah, this is their, I don't know, this is their law.
And you teach other people.
Why you say teaching, man?
Because you're always preaching that.
You're preaching when they bring that story, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have like a preacher sitting, you know, with the people like I'm talking that. Come on, man. Why don't you ask the people in Canada? The people who live in Canada, ask them like, you know, like do they have a preach or something? Only when they bring the question. I mean, sometimes they any talk, even those Libyan guys, they were talking about the Libyan shit, the prison. What should I say? I have nothing to do with that.
I mean, let's take, for example, just an earlier conversation we went over.
Yeah.
When that guy Riyadh, the Tunisian, is asking you, should I leave a will with my family? I'm headed to Iraq. And you told him, it's a duty upon, what you're going to do is a duty upon yourself.
Yeah.
You said that to him.
Yeah, okay. There's something in the religion I didn't know, and I made mistake. By even talking by religion with the people, I made mistake. And even one time I told them not to believe me. Sometimes I don't want to talk because I made mistake. That duty, the last thing I heard from the scholars now, even in YouTube, especially Egyptian scholars, because they are very famous, they said it's not a duty exactly on you. But this guy, I tried to show him that no, I'm a religious person because he was reading more than me and he's a young guy.
Last thing. Did your brother Muhammad ever tell you that he's with a group?
Oh?
Your brother Muhammad, did he ever tell you that he is with a group, with a Mujahideen group?
He said like that I can't say group, but he said like I know somebody, you understand, that they do work for them, collect them money, but I don't believe him. Because I can't see no proof, and I can't talk anything in the phone. Like, okay, he's the first guy who lied to me. Like 2-3 days ago, if you bring him in the talking, he lied to me.
You think he's lying, but he told you he's with a group.
Because they have show off. Iraq people, they have show off, man. Anybody can say like, oh me, I'm with them. But I don't see them, man. Don't say nobody can do anything for me. Even here.
Were the Tunisians talking big game?
What does that mean?
In other words, were they just talking? Or you heard they exploded themselves.
I don't know how did this guy did do. No, how did they do it? How did they interview people? Okay, if you bring the whole conversation with Adnan and everything, me, I don't know nobody. The only person I can talk to Adnan, who I know them in the area, or Ahmed Khalaf, that young guy, or Saleh or something. This is the only people I know. I have been 14 years out of that city, and those people, there I met them. But I told you, Iraq people, man, like they are show off, man. This is what the people I need. And the first show off family, which my mother even said, didn't like even their mother, it was Ihsan's family. They were saying like, we did like this, we did like this. And second day I think like those, I don't know what we call them in Arabic, like a gay people, what they call. He's opening his head like in the middle, you know, making fashion, sitting in Syria, I don't know what, and I heard from other people, he's going to like beaches, cities, like there are some cities, like everything is a lie on them, it's just a show off. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you talking to me.
I hope you didn't get upset from me.
Please.
Believe me.
You know what? I raise my voice because I'm from New York. That's the only reason why I raise my voice.
Because New York, if they talk like this,
the one thing I am passionate about is...
So if I go there, you're not going to beat me or torture me or something?
They don't... No one beats you.
Okay.
No one.
One more thing. In the beginning, there's a friend, he thought like I'm lying to him about more feeling about the American. He didn't ask me nothing about the American. And I have a proof on myself about it.
I don't know.
Okay. Now when we talk about the part, about the American there, that the friends or family, they ask me in the religion way, I must talk them in the religion way. Forget about that part. American people, do you know why I know if one person, he raped one lady, Abir, you remember that, they have it on YouTube. He raped her and he killed her and killed all her family. And that guy, until now, is in the jail, the American soldier, he's proud of to do that. But he brought a lot of issues. Okay, is all the army like this? Not all the armies like that. And believe me, in the north border, my cousin, my family, why don't you talk to the American? I want to hear you talk in English. I see them in front of me, in Zaco, because most time I spend there, my aunt and my sister's family. In the beginning, not even my family, they let me to go in most of that.
I'm not sure. Where are you going with this?
I want to show you what's my opinion with the American.
You said it quite a bit on tape, with your opinion.
What quite tape? Why are you breaking the
all the conversations? You said what your feelings of the Americans are. You told your sister to take a gun and go attack the American dog.
Okay, why you
told people go against the infidel enemy that's invading our country.
Okay.
Kill the Americans and kill whoever's working with them. It's time and time again. It's
John,
right there.
John, you know, because from your nerve, your anger, you have no patience even to hear me, man. I was talking, why did you bring that part again when somebody talking in the religion? I was talking religion part. Forget about that, and they're not going to do it. Because all of them, even my sister, she couldn't even pay money charity for the Mujahideen. But I'm talking about
someone yelling fire in a movie theater. You tell somebody to pick up a rifle and kill an American, and you don't see anything wrong with that, even though it's just talk? I'm sorry, I don't see it.
No. Okay, we're talking there in the part of religion, when the topic comes. But did you see me like all this time?
There's no religion in the world that is going to tell you to pick up a gun and kill an American. I'm sorry, I don't think religion says that. I think we should probably just end it here.
What are you talking religion? Are you telling me, now why did you come here to talk to me? Because you care about your country, right?
Absolutely.
So the people in Iraq, if American Biden said, they said like, we invade, let's say talking by right, not even by religion. The people in Iraq, they have no right to defend their country? Even if he was a Satan, Yazidi, in northwest of Iraq, just because he's living in Iraq, did they have a right to fight or not? Forget about the religion. And then why did the Vietnamese people they talk, they fight against American? Or against Japan or against anybody when somebody attacks their country? We're talking about natural things by any law. First when they entered America, we had very nice idea about them. After 3-4 years, that shit happened. Like when we start to hear, oh, this is invasion. We invade Iraq. That's when people, they start to talk more openly, more garbage. I was talking to you, how people, they were treating the Iraq people, they were dancing with them in the street. That's what I hear from Iraq people. So why you want me now to judge? Now I'm sitting in Canada. And I run away because of that shit, no freedom.
Thanks for talking to me.
Oh, please. You don't want to hear me anymore.
Is there something you could help me with? Is there any topics I didn't cover that, do you know anything that's going to happen over there? Do you know anybody that's doing stuff over there?
And you can bring me all these, even though it's 2-3 days. There's no ancient there. And the only thing I want you to know, I'm not that person. I'm not that person, or give that picture, except only in front of my family, and they introduce me for those shit people, extended family and everything. Only in front of them. But in the reality, they don't know even I'm living with their friend. They don't know that shit. Even brother Riyadh, you know, from Toronto, I can't tell them. Always I tell them I'm living with brother. Because I can't tell them, because they know I have that a religion picture when they sit with me. Now me, I'm a true person. There when they talk to me, they ask me, you can't say lie because it's easy for them to know. If they said, okay, in the religion, we know that this one, why did you answer me wrong? What should I tell them? That means I never can talk in front of them in the religion. But that picture, you know, they saw from me. But in my hair, forget about that part. I just don't want to be free, live, you know, free. I don't want anybody ask me, like, you know, where are you going, where are you coming? Only when they have a really good thing. Did he talk all these ones, I talk now. But you should bring the whole story from the beginning. That's the people they hear about me in that picture, like I'm not religious. There's no way to give them a different picture.
I touched only about 10% of what we have.
Yeah.
When you take the whole picture, it doesn't get better, it gets much worse.
Why do you want to make it worse?
I'm just telling you. If we talked about 10% of what we have.
At 10%?
10%
okay.
of what we have. If we talk the whole picture, 100% of what we have, the picture against you does not get better, it gets worse. It's the Tunisians, the Moroccan female. It's
Moroccan men. I have a plan with her, man. And forget about Iraq. Even when I told my family, you guys respect her. You guys respect her. We were always talking about religion because she entered in the religion way on me. But now, until now I'm confused. Even last time when I talked to her, I said, believe me, I feel myself I can do nothing for you. Why don't you just forget, man? Find anybody know from your country. You can bring even these ones. The last, 2-3 months. I know myself like that sometimes I can't do nothing.
You told us before, you talked to her about going to Iraq to do jihad.
She entered in an Islamic way. That's why I must talk to her about that. I told her like what kind of person I am. Do you know what's happening in Iraq?
My only point was, there's a lot more than what we touched on here. If there's something you could tell me about who's involved over there, I'm interested. I will stay here. I will listen to you. I'm interested in...
And hold on. There's one more point. You said like this is only 10% and there's a lot and a lot. Allah is only... Those Tunisian guy, he was in a certain time. In a certain time. After that, you can bring any stories, anything, from the computer, from the phone. He was only talking with my family.
No, your brother put you in touch with the boss. You talked to who you believed was the boss.
Okay, how can I know the boss? Maybe the stupid guy beside him.
He told you he was.
Yeah, man, they can say anything, man, in Iraq. Believe me, I heard that too much. But what did
you remember telling him you'll do whatever it takes? Do you remember telling him, I'll do something here, I'll do something there? Did you tell that guy that said he was a boss, I'll do something here,
I was talking about the business, hold on. I was taking business, or money, to help them. But I'm with you guys in 100%. What should I tell them? Just what to do. I must give them that, that picture, the Islamic picture. But
I was talking about money, because when your brother talks to you again, he says, he was asking, does he want to get married? And that whole conversation is...
Married man is there.
Yeah. And he says...
I don't know, I want to know that thing.
You want the sniper rifle?
I don't know, I don't want to get killed. Why should I go myself? I don't believe in that. I don't believe that part. And I have a right not to believe that part. I don't feel even relaxed with it.
But it was all talk. When you told your brother and you told this other guy you want to get a sniper rifle when you come over, that's talk.
Yeah, I had them. You believe me, I told it's only just talk. Because I know they couldn't do anything. But I had a 9,000. You know what they told me about that sniper? He said 3 million. 3 million Iraqi, that means exactly 3,000 Canadian.
Did your brother have a weapon in the house over there in Iraq?
I think they told me they had a one, but they give it. That flashing code? They give it. Most neighbors they give it. Most people they give it. And believe me, how much times I heard my family, they said they come,
Let me ask you again. Does your brother have a weapon in the house in Iraq where he's living now?
Maybe it's more than. Yeah.
Does he have access to an AK? The Kalashnikov. Does he have one?
In the house? I swear I don't know.
That he could get?
Who?
Does he have one that's somewhere else other than in his house?
Like Muhammad he has?
Yeah.
I swear I don't know. I don't even remember.
Well, you said earlier, there used to be one in the house.
No, that's in the beginning, and all the neighbors they had it. They told us from the one family they had maybe 6, 7, 10.
All right.
But they tell them,
He keeps a small gun now?
I think he has a small one. He said, man, anybody can have that one. And I don't know if they told the cops or not when they come to check. And maybe he doesn't have it exactly now, I don't know. And last time, I don't know when did I ask him even about that. The only my problem, my mouth is, I try to show off, but they didn't get one point of me. That's what you don't want to give that one. I run away because I cannot feel to live there no more. I run away in excuse. There's no excuse to run away from there. And I run away in excuse to pay to borrow.
It's late. It's 2:30.
Okay.
Thanks for talking.